How's it going, everybody? Damien here, back with another video for Blue Collar. Okay, so I know if last video that I just put out was about 2 hours and something. I made it pretty lengthy because I really wanted to show you guys everything on this. So if you guys are following along, you guys know step by step. I know it's pretty lengthy, but step by step of what I did and how I took it apart, put it back together. But what stopped us in our tracks was actually this bolt right here, and as you can tell, it's pretty messed up. Luckily, the threads inside of here, which I'll show you in just a second, aren't bad. I went ahead and picked up another bolt. It's kind of hard to size this one because of the threads being on that one. You can't just take it in there and be like, hey, I need this thread, because they don't have the thread feeler gauge or whatever you want to call it, thread gauge. And all their little thread end things are too small. Plus, as you can tell, the only really good threads are down here at the end where my thumb is. So I sized it the best I could, and this one actually is the correct one. I went ahead and picked up the bolt, the 5/8 bolt, and this little lock washer here. It cost me maybe $2, okay? Anyways, I'm going to turn this camera around, show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, just for reference, here we are. The bolt in question here that messed up was actually that one right there. So there is a second one down there, which was perfectly fine, but this one was the one that was the problem. Now, if you look over here on the other side, if you see in there, the threads, they're not really too bad, okay? I can only show you that side because it's at another weird angle back over there. But what I did to really quickly check this thing was, you can come down here on the threaded side, see if I can do it really quick, and you could thread it in just like that. And it threads right in there, okay? So you can check it that way, or you can put it through. Of course I dropped it. You can put it through this side and thread it back through, but I was just afraid that I was going to have to get a tap and die set and tap this thing out. Luckily, that's not the problem. What I'm going to do is, of course you'll see it, I'm going to put this bolt in here and that bolt back, and then that should solidify this thing. Last week's video, we went ahead and put these lines on here. We fixed this up. This shouldn't leak anymore. I did put a lot of excessive RTV on here, but I wanted it to seal. I'm not really too worried about it. I don't care about how it looks, just as long as it doesn't leak. So this week's video, we're going to be putting all these lines and stuff back where they go, of course, remember, and we'll put this tank back, put those two bolts back, and we're going to probably try to throw some hydraulic fluid in the tank here. Of course, we're going to have to drain it, which is no big deal. We could do that in just a minute. But yeah, that should bring us right back up to speed. Not seen last week's video. Of course, I know, like I said, it's long, but it brings you through every little process that I had to do on this thing, whether it be cleaning it, whether it be taking it all apart, everything you have to do to take it apart. It's almost like I was doing it live. I wanted you to sit here, and regardless, if I wasn't doing something, I'll be talking to you guys, keeping engaged, telling you what's going on, just stuff like that. So if you guys really do need to look into something for this power steering unit on this tractor, definitely check that one out. And then this would be the second half of putting it all back together. By the way, before I forget, guys, feel free to comment. If you guys like the length to your videos, tell me. If you guys don't, I understand, tell me that too. More engagement here will really just tell me as a creator, what you guys are looking for. If you guys don't want a 2-hour video, you don't want to know all the bells and whistles on this thing, you just want to see it get taken care of, let me know, okay? That's enough for right now. We'll get back into this crap right here. Just kind of jacking my jaw a little bit, and yeah, let's get to work. Okay, so I tried to put that bolt in there, and it messed up the threads, kind of like the last one. Anyways, now, since that's cost me $2, I'm gonna go down there, and I've already started doing it. It connects. Matter of fact, let me show you. Okay. So you see that piece right there? That's where those bolts go in, and it comes down to link up with these tie rod ends, or whatever the hell you want to call them. So I've already went ahead and started taking the cotter pins off of that and that, so we can run those castle nuts off of there, and then these will fall. So then we can loosen this up So we can pull that shaft up enough to let off of that. And then we can pull it out and take it inside and tap the shit out of it and then try to rethread that so I don't have to buy another one. Okay, so we got those castle nuts off. That's one hanging down there, and then that's the other one. I'll show you right here. That one over there just fell out, pretty much. It was loose. And then this one, well, you can tell it's been hard to get. So what I'm gonna do is just take my hammer here, just knock the crap out of it. I was knocking on it just like so, but I don't think it's really doing anything. So now we're gonna move up here, and we'll put the castle nut back on it just for a second, and then hit the top of it. You want to put the castle nut on there so you don't mess up the threads, because that ain't fun. So I already got enough threading crap to take care of. Let's not make any more. Okay, we did finally get that out of there. Now, I've taken this thing off about 13,000 times, okay? Put this on last, please. If you ever run into problems, don't RTV it 13 times because you're losing out on money like I did. By the way, if that's super hard to take out, take your pry bar just like that one. Put that end in there, up underneath this little lip here, and pop it up. And it worked just fine. Because I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to get it out of there, but that pry bar saved my life. So, that's out of there. We brought it in the shop. I was not going to put this in here because I figured, you know, this is the 5th time I've taken this off or whatnot. You guys didn't want to see it anymore, but I figured, you know what? Who gives a crap how many times to take it off? As long as you guys know when you go to take this off that if you're taking that part out to repair it just like I'm doing, that has to come out so you can pull it, okay? So, there you go. I'm going to go get these insert stuff taken care of and that bolt hopefully rethreaded, and we'll be right back up here putting this stuff together. Alright everybody, as you can tell, we've changed scenery, location, time, all that stuff. Now, it's been a few days, weeks past actually. Last week I didn't put out a video. Unfortunately, there was a lot of rain and stuff. I couldn't get finished with what I had to do. So, without any more wait, today is a good day. For now, because you never know here in Arkansas. It could rain in 5 minutes and then snow 10 minutes later. Whatever. We'll deal with what we got. I'm going to turn this camera around. We're going to fix up some stuff after I threaded that stuff. I went to town. It was raining. I got some bolts and stuff. We know the whole deal. Okay? I'm going to turn the camera around. We're going to sit here and mess with it a little bit. Make sure the threads are all clean and stuff. And it's going to go in the way it's supposed to. And it's not going to deburr or anything crazy like that. So, let me turn this around and we'll get right to it. Okay. So I already had a few things set up here. Remember our old bolt, we're not going to use it. We are going to use the lock washer that I bought. Now, this stuff has been setting for a little bit. Like I said, these bolts I've bought since last week, but we haven't had a chance to really do anything with it because it's been raining. But regardless, these bolts seem to be threading in pretty good. My only main concern is this top one here will thread in about halfway and then it will stop. So I want to take it out and see, you know, what's going on with it. I think it's just some dirt or something in there. I've cleaned it a few times, but it seems to keep, you know, stopping itself. I'm not really sure. We're just going to take it apart and see what it's doing. If we really have to, we have one of the old bolts that is a bit smaller. Still the same thread, I'm pretty sure. But it'll thread in there. I'm thinking a lot of what's happening is this little shaft here. When I threaded it, I didn't exactly thread the top one straight. And I think it's hitting on the side. Matter of fact, I'm going to take the camera off and show you because it is. Okay, let me turn my flash on. You see right there on the side how it's pretty big up there, and then all the way down here you can see where it's hitting right there. So what I'm going to do is, instead of rethreading that, I'm going to take this bolt out of here and I'm going to put it on that bench grinder right there, and we're going to grind it a little bit Not too much, just a little bit, okay? Just to make sure it'll go in here, because I don't want to mess this up. I'd much rather buy a dollar bolt than to try to find one of these. So, bear with me. I'm going to take this down a little bit, and we'll be seeing if that works. Okay, so while I go ahead and thread this in here, I do want to go ahead and apologize. I want to put out videos every week, and I made that pretty clear over the time that I've been doing it. But there's not a whole lot I can do about the rain. As unfortunate as it is, when it rains, I work outside, especially on the tractor and stuff. I can't get I've been thinking about getting one of them car tents from Harbor Freight or something to let me put it under there. But when I stand the hood up on that tractor, it's about double my size, and you know how tall it is, and I'm 6 foot. So if it's double me, there's no way I could fit that in a car tent. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really sure what else I can do. I'll apologize. Like I said, I really want to put those videos out. But when it comes to, Mother Nature and her ways, there's really not a whole lot I can do about it. So we're just going to keep on cranking out videos when we can. Given the weather and stuff, it should be easier for me. It's no longer super cold out, and it's not, I guess I can say, it's not going to be super cold out, but it is going to be super rainy and stuff. So we're going to have to watch out for that. Pretty much working outside, not really the greatest thing, but it's all I can do with what I got. It's not like I can pull this stuff in here. So I just wanted to apologize, like I said, and tell you guys how it is. There's really not much I can do about it, but just keep going. So I'm going to grind this down a little more, and like I said, it's just a little bit here. It's nothing too crazy. We're just grinding it down a little bit. Here's the game plan. Remember that thing that goes down in there? What we're going to do is we're going to come over here and slide it up through the same way that we got it up under here earlier. We're going to go ahead and put those tie rod ends and everything back on it. Castle nuts, cotter pins, all that crap. We're going to get it all set up. We're going to take the top of it up here off. Again, for the 14th time, if you can count. I can't. We're going to go ahead and take that off. Move that spline shaft with the weird little gears and stuff on it up again, so we can slide it in place. Then we're going to slide the shaft back through. Might even put some anti-seize crap on there so it doesn't, seize on there like it did the first time. And well, of course, we're probably not going to do that. It's just the thought that counts. Then once we get that put back on there, we'll button everything up down there, work our way to the top, seal the top piece off. Then we'll start putting all those little hoses and stuff back on there for the hydraulic tank, and yeah, then we'll drain the hydraulic tank. Now, that sounds pretty easy. It's not too hard, but it's not fun, okay? So, what I'm going to do is start at the bottom like I just said, work our way up. Okay, so this is where this sets right here. We're gonna move that into place. Now, that spline's gonna sit right down in there. Of course, you know that. And then I guess I'm gonna slowly put these bolts in here just a little bit, and I'll label them so I know which one's which. One's T for top, one's B for bottom. Okay, after a very long time of doing this and messing up another bolt, which just so happened to be that top one, which we changed out for the old one that worked fine. What you'll do, slide that shaft all the way down inside of those little splines, okay? Now the first time I tried this, it didn't work. This is why I tried the second way, and the second way didn't do it. So don't slide the shaft in there while there's bolts in there and try to get them in there, and then cinch it up. Because those bolts go on those grooves, which we knew that. But basically, slide it all the way through there, get it lined up, put something underneath it to push it up to get both of the splines to line in there. And what you'll do to see that is look in between here, and you'll see that little indentation in the little gear right there. So you'll know when you slide the bolt through it, it won't hit on anything. That, and only then, is when you put both those bolts through there, tighten them up, pull your little pry bar out from under there, and then you're good. Now, it might seem like, oh, that's, you know, common sense, why didn't you think about that? Well, there's more than one way to skin a piece of equipment. Most people say cat, but this is equipment. Anyways, there's more than one way to do it, is what I'm saying. And when it didn't go in there right the first way, I tried a different way, messed up the bolt, and then went back and reverted to the old way. Please do it the way that I just, you know, told you how to do it. Because if you don't, you're going to mess up. Let's see, I messed up 3 bolts now. So, do it that way. Don't mess up any bolts. It's pretty simple, cut and dry stuff. You just got to think about it a little bit, and then you'll be okay. So, I'm going to move down here to the tie rods, down this way, and we're going to put those on real quick. Find some cotter pins, put those in there, and then we'll get it all cinched up down there. So the only thing we got to worry about is the top end. Okay, we'll be right to it. Okay, so we've put that on for the 15 millionth time, and hopefully we don't have to take it off again. RTV'd it again. Those bolts are down there, they're on, and we got the tie rods on all the way over to the linkage and stuff here. So all of our castle nuts and everything, cotter pins are in there. Yeah, I think tomorrow, it's getting a bit late now, but tomorrow we're going to be putting this hydraulic tank and stuff back on, the soft lines, hard lines, all that crap, and it should be good to go. I'm going to let that dry for a few days before I put any hydraulic fluid in it. It shouldn't get to the top to actually come out, but there is pressure in there, so, well, at least in this side, but I don't know, we're just gonna wait, okay, because this stuff takes a minute to dry. All right, so we're gonna wait on it a day or two. We're gonna fix this stuff up tomorrow, get ready to drain the old hydraulics that are still in there out, and then put the new hydraulic fluid in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and button this stuff up for the day, close this 18-ton lid here. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 4. That's what that 4 stands for, remember? We need to think of a name for this tractor. It's probably going to be on the channel for a long time, so we need to think about a name. What do we want here? My back hurts. No, that can't be a good name. No, because my back hurts, not its back. Let's think about a name on this. You guys got any ideas for this thing? Like I said, it's probably going to be on the channel for a while. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff with it. So let's go ahead and see if we can give it some sort of, I don't know. Let's not be calling it like baby or anything, because I tell you what, it ain't going to get that kind of treatment. Anyways, bleep bloop that crap down in the comment box down there. Wait, it's just down there somewhere. Just go ahead and tell me what you guys think is a good name, and then I guess if there's a few of you guys that wants to put a name in, we'll have to have a poll or something. We'll put that out. Anyways, that's going to be it for today. Tomorrow we'll get back up here and get to work on those lines and stuff. All right, next day, I don't know if you guys can tell, we're back working on this again. All right, what did I tell you guys we were going to do? I can't remember. It's something to do with this, I think. I'm just kidding, everybody. We're going to be putting the hydraulic tank back on there and hooking up the lines and stuff, which you guys have seen me take off already. If you watched that really lengthy video that was showing everybody, you know, if you guys really wanted to know how to take all this apart, you would know after that video, because it was pretty detailed. I didn't really leave out a lot. I just threw it all together for you. So, I'm going to go ahead and put this back on there. It's 4 bolts and a bunch of lines. You're going to need an adjustable wrench, socket set, and probably a pipe wrench too. That's about it. And the pipe wrench is just for that massive one back behind it over there. Anyways, I'm gonna go get that stuff set up. Of course, I already have a little bit of tools back over there. I just got to get the pipe wrench, and we're ready to go. Okay, we made a big mess because trying to get this worked in there was a bit awkward. we knocked off the bottom hose down there and spilled hydraulic fluid everywhere instead of catching it. And it took me way too long to get that lid off because it's hermetically sealed on there for some stupid ass reason. But we got it off and under there, so we're gonna catch about a quart of the probably, 45,000 gallons that were in there that I dumped all over the ground. But anyways, I'm gonna put this back big hydraulic hose, I guess that pulls the hydraulic fluid up to the steering up there or whatever. I'm gonna put it on first. I got one bolt set in here just to keep it like a guide almost, and then yeah, 3 more to put on. But I was having problems when I tried to move the tank into place. It would hit back here, and I didn't want to mess the threads up on this, so I'm gonna thread it on first and then try to move it into place. And then we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna get that bottom hose on there in a little bit. We'll worry about that last probably, because I need to let it drain. But anyways, can you guys see what I'm doing over here? Let me make sure real quick. Someone needs to fire the camera guy. Okay, just a little afterthought on this. When you bust the bottom hose on this, when you're trying to put it back on there like I just did, you're going to need a new one. And make sure you get the wrong one and put it on there anyways. But also, make sure you have to take everything that you just put back on, right back off, to put that on, to put everything else back on. So, if you're doing this, you might as well replace that bottom little hose, because, if you don't and it falls off while you're putting everything back on, you got to take it all back off. And what do I mean by that? Everything on the hydraulics, all this hoses and stuff that we put on, you got to take it off, and then you got to take the 4 bolts down there that hold the hydraulic tank on, at least loosen them and take the 2 bottom ones out so you can pull it over. Now, am I irritated at it? Yes. Is it done? Yes. So, who cares? What I'm going to do today is I'm probably going to let this sit a little bit longer to let this RTV really seal up. It took a good 3-4 days to let it seal up in some places, considering I took it off, 14, 15 times. This right here, these 2 little pieces, not fun to mess with, okay? You want to talk about irritating, those are irritating. Enough of the talking out of the way. I'm going to show you the hose that I put on here, and that's going to be it for today. Tomorrow we can put some hydraulic fluid in it and go from there. Alright, it's the next day. It's new clothes, everything like that. Cool. Now, I went ahead and popped off right under here for this hydraulic tank. There's that little, basically bolt that holds all the fluid in there. I forget the name of it. Drain plug. There it is. Anyways, sometimes I have to spell it out for myself. Don't worry, I'll get it there. I'll get there. Just wanted to let you guys know I did use a big set of ratchet and sockets. It wound up being on my tractor. I don't know if this is going to be the same for across the board, probably, but it was 1 inch and 5/8 is the size that fit it. I had to have an extension, and I had to go in between the tie rod in here and the I guess frame or whatever you want to call this for steering, not sure, don't know, in between here and then up to get to that. And it's pretty taut, so I did the same thing when I put it back, put it on there pretty tight. Anyways, I'm glad I did it, because even though yesterday that hose popped off, there was still quite a bit of oil in there. So we went ahead and drained it out, and I popped the hood and everything back up so I can come in here, take this cap off. And what I'm gonna do is, probably on the cap here, I'm gonna write the date, so I know when I changed it with the Sharpie, paint marker, whatever you got, I'm gonna write the date on there so I know when I changed it and I know what it's at. And I'm gonna do the same thing for that oil catch pan over there for the intake, and I'm probably gonna do the same thing on the oil pan. I'm not gonna be able to keep track of the amount of miles or hours or whatever this thing has on it because it's not from around here and I don't know how to read it, and it probably doesn't work. So I'm just gonna go ahead and write the date on it and everything, just so I know. This is something you could do if you want. You don't have to. It's whatever you want to do. So that's where we're at. I'm about to pop the cap off here and put all this hydraulic fluid in here. I think online it said it takes 4.1 gallons, and I'm sure that's without the loader, so it's probably going to be the same or a little more. But we're going to fill it up, see if we can get this thing to move, and then I'm going to mess with it a little bit, not too much because we don't have tires on it that are worth the crap. So we're going to move the loader around and kind of do what we can. Maybe turn it a little bit, engage the power steering, get some fluid going in there, and yeah, that's it. So I'm going to do that stuff really quick. I'm not going to worry too much about showing you guys me put oil in there. You know where it goes. Take off this white cap, put your fluid straight down in the hydraulic tank. We've been here. Okay. I'm going to fill this up, and then we're going to get into moving it. Once I move it around a little bit, that's going to be the end of this one. So let's get to it. Alright everybody, might be a little bit hard to hear, but I've already raised and lowered it a little bit. I'm going to turn the camera around and let you guys see what's going on. I'm going to give it a little gas, hit this. Bring it up. We've been watching it, so far no leaks. Move the bucket a little bit. Alright everybody, I don't know if you guys could hear me when I was doing that, but the bucket did everything it needed to do. The loader did all the things it should have, okay? We were going through everything. This cylinders that I fixed up here, even these little cylinders here, making sure there was no leaks. I checked the line that we replaced down there. I was just looking under here for leaks or anything like that. And I even checked the drain plug and all that stuff. So everything up under this way, no leaks nowhere. That's good news. Now, what I did do is I went ahead and popped the cap on that off again, just to make sure, because we put the loader on it, and it's going to have a little bit more fluid than it really should have had, so we're going to have to add some more to it. Right now, since we put all that was empty, and we filled all the rams and everything with it, it's probably down here half, so I'm going to refill it a bit. We were running it dry pretty much, which of course I did put stuff inside the cylinders when we redid it, so it wasn't completely dry, but it did sit for a little bit, so no big deal. We're going to go ahead and put some more fluid in this, but so far everything that I fixed on it, nothing's leaking. I'm going to do a little bit more looking into it, but yeah, so far we're good. So that means a lot. That means that I don't have to get back into this, and everything that you guys have seen so far on it is pretty, cut and dry, self-explanatory stuff. But at least if you guys have this type of problem or something along the lines of what I did, you guys know how to fix it. It's not too difficult, and hopefully it'll keep stuff like this 50 years more or more old that haven't been, they haven't had anything done to them in who knows how many years. Get it back up there and doing a thing. All right. Anyways, I think that's about it. Like I said, I'm gonna do some stuff off camera, just looking around and maybe fill it up a little bit more. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this one. This one's pretty unique. It's my first tractor, my first time working on a tractor really, but I helped my dad with some small stuff on the John Deere and stuff over there, but I needed this. I needed a loader and stuff on it. We got it done. So without any craziness, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it helped you in whatever stuff you guys got going on, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Last thing, all right? Everyone's got to say it, you know. Like, subscribe, throw a comment in there. It means a lot, helps the algorithm, helps me find more men and women like you guys that come in here and really enjoy this stuff. So if you wouldn't mind, help out the channel. When I do hit 1,000 subscribers, I want to put out a video about myself. I haven't done it yet. I wanted to save that for when I get to that amount of people, to where the people that are coming in here watching, the new, the old, the ones that are, you know, going to be here for a while, you guys are going to want to know a little about me. So when we get to 1,000, I know it seems like a faraway goal. We're at 370 right now. Help me get to 1,000. We'll do a little video on me, because once I get there, we'll be here for a while. Anyways, thank you guys, and you have a good one. Look forward to see you guys on the next one.